it's a weird position just on Pochettino. I find this really interesting now. So maybe 2 or 3 months ago, John, with Man United and Jose Mourinho gone, Solskjaer comes in on a temporary basis, and it looked like for all the money that Pochettino was United's long-term project in terms of coming in, that now seems to be gone, because Solskjaer, according to an awful lot of people around the club, seems to be the guy that they want now, given his track record. So Pochettino doesn't have as strong a hand to try and go to the board and say, well, look, if you don't look after me here, I might walk. He doesn't have that anymore.
Well, he might. It might. I mean, it sounds he was making last week about saying, well, it's going to take me another 5-10 years. It really blew up last week. I mean, they do have the problem with the ground and obviously finance, as Arsenal did in their time. Right. But even before that, Levy wasn't spending money anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as if he gave Pochettino and then said, right, we have to stop it. The wages of the players, I think, is an issue. I think he's given Harry Kane a rise in money. But they were on low money because they were getting the new stand-up. That's understandable as a businessman's point of view. But I think what he's asking Pochettino to do is to perform miracles. And it just doesn't happen. So Pochettino was making sounds last week, I don't know what I'm going to do because it's going to take me another 5-10 years to get up with the... that's a very, very serious and strong thing for a manager to say about a club. But he's right in what he's saying. But the thing is with Pochettino, he did change his mind, Hugh, because at the start of last season, or in the close season, he said the manager's got to be brave. He's got to put his hand in his pocket. And then he signed a contract himself, I think, for 5 years. And then he said, no, I didn't say it. That's not what I meant when I said that. I meant that the manager, the chairman, was brave.
Yeah.
In not spending the money.
Right.
Now he's saying...
That's a contradiction.
That's a contradiction.
Liam, do you get the sense that Pochettino was frustrated by the lack of investment? He's very diplomatic in the way he addresses the media, and he's very good at kind of keeping all sides nicely balanced. He doesn't lose the cool too much. Obviously, last weekend with the referee is a case in point. But overall, do you think that the frustration is starting to build on him now with the lack of investment at Spurs?
Well, no, I think he knows the lie of the land. I think it's run as a business, not going to go into any serious debt to start making big signings. And I think that position has been made very clear to him down through the last few seasons, and I think that's why he's quite supportive of his, Daniel Levy when he does speak to the press, saying, we're going to do it a different way, or because of the stadium, we've got to give young players a chance. But that's not to say that he wouldn't jump at going somewhere like Real Madrid. Real Madrid got beaten again at the weekend by Barcelona. That's twice in a week. They're 12 points behind. I don't think, I think there's going to be a new manager there, and I think he's definitely a candidate. If Man United don't give Solskjaer the job, I think, again, Pochettino is one of the biggest candidates to go in there. And I think he would find it very difficult to turn one of those clubs down with the money that he could earn and also the money that he would have at his disposal to build his team. He's not going to get that at Tottenham. I think the only reason he'll stay at Tottenham is that the other clubs don't come looking for him.
Do you think that Solskjaer will get the job, Liam?
I think he's doing himself every chance.
Yeah.
What's happened on Saturday, to be behind and then Southampton to pull back late on 2-2 and then to go on and win the game. Like the crowd, if the fans are really behind Solskjaer now to get the job. But I have a feeling that they're still waiting to see how the league finishes up. If he finishes in the top four, I think he'll have to get the job from where he started. If you look at the league table, I was reading in the paper today, if you look at the league table since Solskjaer's got the job, Man United would be actually at the top of the league.
Wow. That's incredible, John, isn't it? I mean, he can do nothing else than what he's doing at the moment.
No, he can only, he's done everything that's been asked of him. There's no doubt about that, Hugh. I still wouldn't make up my mind.
Really?
No.
Why?
Well, I think when you come into the job that he's come into, first of all, the players obviously didn't get on with Mourinho. And the players then have to prove that it was the manager's fault, not theirs.
Okay.
So they start playing for the manager the way they should have been playing for Mourinho. And I think he's the type of character that suits the situation at this particular time. Like, don't get me wrong, I think he's done a terrific job, but I think it suited his personality and the position he's in to get the best out of the players at the moment. Now, what I keep saying to friends of mine when I'm talking about Solskjaer, we'll have to wait and see when he has to really manage. Now, what I mean by that is leaving players out.
Yeah.
You know, players getting not happy. No players happy when they left. Like all the things at the moment, the players are going with him. He's winning matches. Is great. Is that because he's come in at the right time, in the right situation to do what's needed to be done? Does he have the wherewithal to do it in a different way when the players start a new season? They've already proven that Mourinho was the culprit in what they're doing. Now he's got to probably buy new players, leave players out. That's when you're really managing. At the moment, he's resting players and they're all going along with him. So when it comes to next season, you know, he buys a player in, he's got to leave a player out. Is he going to fall out with them? Is he not? That's when it becomes the real management. But certainly at the moment, there's no doubt he cannot have done any more than he was asked to do.
And if you're on that United board and if you're the owners at the moment, Liam, I suppose the big question mark that still hangs over him was, you go back to that PSG match at home, and in the second half when United needs something, the cameras panned to Solskjaer a couple of times, and like, I don't want to be too harsh on him here, but the body language wasn't great, his facial expression wasn't great. It didn't kind of instill you with the confidence of a guy who knew exactly what to do to fix it. And maybe he doesn't have the players at the moment to go and beat a team like PSG, but that's probably the big question mark over him over the last couple of months, you know, that particular game, I suppose.
Well, that's the only game he's lost to you, isn't it? You know, it's the only one he's lost, and he was up against a very good team, you know, the team that have been together quite a long time and very experienced in the Champions League. And, you know, he's trying to play against a team like that with a defence that he's been left with. You know, Lindelhoff, he's got him playing a bit better, but he's not good enough, you know, and nor are the other defenders, really. The Manchester United need to spend most of their money, I would say, on their defence, you know. He hasn't bought anybody. He needs to get rid of a lot of players. You know, that's the only really downside to what he's done so far, but I wouldn't blame him too much on that, you know. But I think he was up against a better side. And Man United, even with Solskjaer at the helm, I know I said that if you look at the league since he's been there, Man United be top, but I do think they need to spend more money, no matter who the manager is, in the summer, to make that defence stronger.
If you just look at the league table now at the moment, so Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, the first three spots, and then Man United on 58 points in fourth, Arsenal 57 points, having played the same amount of games as Manchester United, but Chelsea with a game in hand on 56. So if Chelsea win that game in hand, they'll go a point ahead of Manchester United.